The moon hung low over the small village of Sefwi, casting its silver light on the quiet huts and open fields. The people of the village had gathered earlier that evening at the chief's palace for a festival to honor their ancestors. The sound of drums had filled the air, deep and rhythmic, telling stories older than the elders themselves. But now, silence had taken over. Alma, a 12-year-old girl from the Akan tribe, sat on the doorstep of her grandmother's hut, looking at the dark forest beyond the village. The silence wasn't normal. The drums were supposed to keep playing through the night, but they had stopped suddenly. Alma's grandmother, Ya, who was known as one of the village's wisest women, sat beside her with a frown. "Grandma, why did the drums stop?" Alma asked, her voice trembling. Ya looked at her and sighed. "When the drums stop, Alma, it means something is wrong." Alma shivered. She remembered the stories the elders told about how silence was a warning. It meant the spirits of the forest were restless. Just then, Kofi, a young hunter from the Yu tribe who had settled in Sefwi years ago, came running toward them. His face was pale, and his voice shook as he spoke. "Nana Ya, the drummers are gone. They disappeared into the forest." "Gone?" Ya asked, her voice calm but firm. "Did anyone see what happened?" Kofi nodded. "Yes, some say they saw shadows moving near the drums before they vanished." The village began to stir as people came out of their huts, whispering to each other. The silence was heavy, like the air before a storm. Alma watched as Ya stood and called the chief's linguist, Open and Kwame, to gather the elders. They decided to hold a meeting right there, under the baobab tree in the middle of the village. "It is the spirits," one elder said. "They are angry. Perhaps we forgot to perform one of the rituals properly." "No," another argued. "This is the work of people. Someone must have stolen the drummers." Alma couldn't hold back her curiosity. "Grandma, can't we go to the forest and look for them?" Ya placed a hand on Alma's shoulder. "The forest at night is not safe, my child. But Kofi is a hunter. He knows the forest better than anyone. He will lead the search." Kofi hesitated but nodded. He chose 4 other brave men from the village, and together, they lit torches and disappeared into the forest. Hours passed. The village waited, tense and silent. Alma stayed close to her grandmother, her eyes fixed on the forest's edge. Finally, just as the first light of dawn appeared, Kofi and the men returned. They carried the missing drummers with them. The drummers were weak but unharmed. The men explained that they had found them tied up near an old shrine deep in the forest. "It was bandits," Kofi said. "They wanted to scare us, to make us leave the village so they could steal our cattle and crops." The chief and elders thanked Kofi and the search party. They decided to strengthen the village's defenses and hold another ceremony to thank the ancestors for guiding the searchers safely. As the new day began, the drums started again, their rhythm steady and strong. Alma smiled as she listened. The silence was gone, and the village was alive once more. And so, the people of Sefwi learned to be watchful, but they also learned something else, that even when the drums fade, courage and unity can bring them back.